Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Need I Say Myrrh, the Christmas podcast. And today I am delighted to welcome to the podcast Ruth Evans. Hello, Ruth.
Hello, Adam. Nice to be here.
It's good to have you. And you are in a very festive outfit today. Do you want to describe your outfit to us?
Yes, so I have some festive glasses that say ho, ho, ho on them. I have a festive headband with Christmas trees and a Santa hat. I have my Christmas jumper from the Christian Poster Company that says the light shines in the darkness, and a red and white sparkly scarf.
You are 100% festive in your attire today. That is very exciting. Thank you for your commitment. And at this point, I should probably ask you to introduce yourself. People will be wondering, who is this person who has put on so much Christmas clothing for recording a podcast in what is currently the middle of November? Who are you, Ruth? And what do you do?
So I am a schools worker for a Christian charity called NISCU, which is Northern Inter-Schools Christian Union. And I go into schools and do assemblies and RE lessons and basically get to tell kids and young people about the Bible. And it's great fun. And at this time of year, it's quite busy.
Yes, telling the Christmas story a lot of times to lots of different children.
A lot of times, but it never gets old for them.
Exactly. And it should never get old for us either, because I don't do as many talks probably as you in different settings, but I do a lot of Christmas talks, and yeah, it should still be exciting for us as well.
It is. And every time somebody different reacts to something and you get something new because of their little faces. So it's always a joy.
Yes. That is an exciting thing about working with young children. We do some things with the local school here, and seeing their reactions when they hear something for the first time or hear something in a different way is exciting, isn't it? And how long have you been doing?
So I have been working for NISCU for 8 years, but I've been doing youth groups and kids work voluntarily for about 20 before that. So basically I stopped being a youth and started doing youth.
Okay. There we go. That's exciting. So and you love Christmas as well. I get that.
I do. I love Christmas. Why would you not love Christmas? It's sparkly and shiny and pretty.
But we do welcome correspondence on this podcast. So if you are listening and you hate Christmas and you really hate people talking about Christmas, then please get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. But we'll get into the questions that I've prepared, that I've asking every guest who comes on this podcast, whether they like Christmas or not. The first question.
Yes.
What is your favourite festive food?
This one is possibly the easiest one to answer. It is Christmas cake.
Christmas cake? Okay.
Yes, Christmas cake. Multiple reasons. Firstly, the making of Christmas cake. So it has to be homemade. And everybody in the family has to get involved. And everyone in the family has to stir some of the Christmas cake, whether they want to or not. It smells amazing while it's baking. The decorating of it is just a family tradition. So when I was little, I remember arguing with my brothers over whether this particular decoration was allowed to go there or what. And now my children do it too. It's just joyful. And then you get to eat it. I mean, what's not to love about fruitcake? I know people have different opinions on fruitcake. Those who don't like it, I'm sorry for you, because it's a joy.
Yes, and for you, it's not just the food, it's an experience, isn't it? The whole experience of making, preparing, eating Christmas cake together.
The whole thing. And marzipan.
Yes, there should be more marzipan generally through the year in different foods.
In life, yes.
Do you have a special family recipe for Christmas cake?
We do, because my family are gluten-free and dairy-free.
Okay.
So I have had to develop my own recipe over the last 15 or so years. So it's gluten-free and dairy-free and alcohol-free, which a lot of people might say that's not a Christmas cake anymore, but it is, because it still has spices and a lot of fruit and a lot of sugar. So it's all good.
And you have it at Christmas. So by definition, it's a Christmas cake. There we go. That's a good favourite food to have. So we'll get onto some music now. What is your favourite non-religious Christmas song?
Okay, I'm cheating. I have two. Because the first one, strictly speaking, isn't a song.
I'm intrigued. Okay.
It is a piece of instrumental music
Oh, right, yes.
that was a song, but this very specific one of it is Vince Guaraldi, if that's how you pronounce his name. He does the music for a Charlie Brown Christmas, and at the beginning of that film there is O Tannenbaum, which is instrumental, and it starts off very chilled and a little bit normal, and then just segues into the most beautiful smooth jazz version of O Tannenbaum, and it's stunning. But it's not a song, so that's my cheat one. Sorry.
Get on to the actual answer then.
Yeah, well, that's my sort of actual answer. The actual song is White Christmas, the original Bing Crosby version.
Okay, so you don't accept any other versions of it?
Bublé is passable, but Bing Crosby does it best.
You'd always go for Bing.
I would always go.
It is a very atmospheric kind of Christmas song, isn't it? That does.
Well, it's very wistful, and then if you read the
Yeah.
story behind why it was written and the soldiers in the war, and it's just a bit beautiful, and it makes me cry if I think about it too hard, which I think is good at Christmas.
Yes, but we won't talk any more about it now then to avoid. Okay, so we move on very swiftly. But I will ask you another question about music actually, because although most people, I'm just asking about non-religious songs, you do a lot of work with children and sing probably lots of Christmas songs about Jesus as well at this time of year. And as a parent with 2 young children, I'm wondering, what is your favourite Christian Christmas kids song?
I so loved when you sent me a message and said you were going to ask me this, because I was like,
okay.
I don't know. And from the beginning of December, in fact, actually from now, it's already started, middle of November, I have 5 CDs in my car. Yes, I'm still a CD person. 5 Christmas CDs that are on repeat for the next 2 months. I have 2 by Colin Buchanan, 1 a new edition from Dumb Rocks last year, the Go Fish guys, who if you've not come across them, they're from America, they're a bit zany, and then Michael J. Tinker, his King Has Arrived album. And I went through all of them. I listened to them all the other day and went, which is my absolute outright favourite song? And it comes down to Michael, and it's the King of the Nations is my probably go-to top. I do it in assemblies, I do it in schools. I have kids all around where I live who now know that song because I do it in assemblies, because it's so accessible. It's just beautiful that it says Jesus is for everyone and came for everyone. Nobody gets left out. It doesn't matter where they live or who they are. And I love it.
Yeah, it is a great message. And Michael Tinker is appearing on this podcast in 1 episode.
Well, I did not know that. So there, I wasn't plugging him.
No, but I might ask him what his favourite Christmas kids Christian song is, and whether he chooses his own song. But yeah, no, Michael Tinker is a lot of great music, a lot of great songs he's produced. That is a good one. So yeah, that's a good answer. And yeah, I hope you continue to listen to those CDs in your car.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you for your commitment to listen to them through to work out your answer to the question. That's good.
It was quite hard because there are some cracking ones.
But yeah, it is hard. But this podcast would be less interesting if I only asked easy questions. So
True.
Yeah, like what day is Christmas Day? Actually, that's quite controversial. Let's move on.
Oh, don't start on that.
Let's get to Christmas decorations. What is your least favourite Christmas decoration?
This one was really hard because I love Christmas and I love Christmas decorations. And then one of my children helped me with the answer. They're teenagers now, but they helped me with the answer by finding one of the Christmas decorations and doing this.
Oh,
anything that plays horrible, tinny Christmas music. Those are my least favourite Christmas decorations. The ones that say press here or dance in front of me, because they just don't shut up, and I hate them.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. So does that one still work? I didn't hear it.
Oh yeah, hang on.
Okay, I still can't hear it.
I will send you this. I'll record it and send it to you.
Please do, and then I can include that because I'm sadly missing out on it. But yeah, so I just to say, I genuinely can't hear it. It's not that I'm just getting you to keep pressing it just to annoy you. Well, there we go. Yes, genuinely musical decorations, especially at Christmas. Yeah, not a good
They're just
thing.
not good because the music quality on them is so poor. And if you have children in your house, they firstly press them because they're fun for them, and then they realize how much it annoys you as a parent, so they press them even more.
Which brings us to the last question, which is more about the heart of Christmas and what we're most excited about as Christians, and that Christmas story that you will tell to children hundreds of times over this Christmas period. But think about the story of the Nativity in the Bible. Who is your favourite person in the Nativity account, not including Jesus?
Yeah, it's important that you say not including Jesus. Mary. For me, it's Mary. I love them all for different reasons, but Mary, I just think, has a whole different level of trust and faith. I mean, her story starts with us basically finding out her story starts by her being scared. And for a lot of teenagers, being scared is something that they understand. But it didn't stop with being scared. She went from being scared to saying, okay, God, you know best. I'm going to trust you and see what happens. And that she was willing to do that she was willing to put her trust and her massive life-changing event in the hands of God is just so beautiful and such a wonderful example. And then she went through so much. I mean, she went on a journey to go and see her cousin, and she came back, and then she went on a ridiculously long journey, and she did all of this. And we don't hear of Mary doing anything other after that first question of, but how is this going to happen? All we hear after that is she trusted God. She praised God. She gave thanks. She treasured up things in her heart and pondered on them. And she's such a beautiful example of how to trust even when we're scared and we don't know what's going on. That Mary wins it out for me.
Yeah. And you were saying that it's similar to experiences of teenagers. Have you found that with teenagers you work with, that's a story that has particular resonance for them?
They generally are horrified when you point out that Mary was their age. So it brings up a lot of other questions first.
Well,
but then when they actually sit and think about it, the number of them who say, I don't think I could cope with that. I don't think I could do that. And being able to then say, she could do that because God was with her, because she wasn't alone, and you're not either. That's the biggest privilege with teenagers at Christmas, is to say, this is for you. You're not alone. And you won't ever be alone if you choose to not be. And that's a joy.
That is a wonderful part of the Christmas message, isn't it? God with us, Emmanuel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's a good place to end on. So thank you for joining us for today's episode. And we hope that you have a very happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas, one and all. Marzipan.